Hey everybody, it's Brian, the home loan and real estate guy, and today I wanted to do a quick video about the iBuyer home selling program and how that program is literally stealing your equity. So let's talk about this program and get right down to it. So last week, I received a phone call from somebody who lives in Menifee, and they asked me to come by and comp their property. They're looking at selling. So I went by and had a look at their property, very beautiful home. And they had asked me what I thought their property was worth. So I told them, I was like, I think we're in a value range somewhere between like 775 and 785. Okay. I said, that's the range that I'm seeing based on the condition of your home and what has sold over the last couple of months. So they had, we had talked about various things, and they had told me that they were considering one of these iBuyer programs. Now, I'm not going to call out the name of this particular company, but let's just say they are a very popular company who likes to open doors for people. They have this really great program. They say it's great, but when you really look at and you break down the cost of using the iBuyer program, you will see fairly quickly how it's not in the client's best interest. So she had showed me their net sheet, and I'm not going to show you that net sheet, but I did replicate it. I did replicate their figures on this net sheet, and I put down my own figures too. And I showed this to the customer, and, originally I had asked her, I go, well, why do you want to use one of these iBuyer programs? And she told me, she goes, to be honest with you, we're an older couple, and we really don't want to go through the hassle of, scheduling appointments and having people come in and out of our house and disrupting our lives. So, if it's going to cost us an extra $5,000, maybe $10,000, basically a convenience fee to sell and not have the inconvenience of people coming in and out and doing open houses, then, we were kind of okay with that. To me, $5,000 to $10,000, that's a lot of money. I would not do that. I would sell and try to get as much money as possible. But for some people, $5,000 to $10,000, it's not a whole lot of money. And they're like, it's a convenience factor, right? And that's the benefit of those iBuyer programs. It's the convenience factor that they will just come in, buy your house, give you cash. You don't have to do an open house. You don't have to have people coming through your house. You don't have to do any repairs. It's convenient to sell, right? But what are you truly losing cost-wise? Because when she told me $5,000 to $10,000, I kind of laughed and was like, okay, well, let's see those figures. And then let me provide you with my figures. So I did this, and within about 5 minutes, I had showed her the figures. I broke everything down, and she was amazed. I mean, she literally sat there and was like, this is a huge difference in what I'm actually going to put in my pocket. And I told her, I said, and I'm going to show you guys here in a moment. But I told her, I said, look, we've been doing this for a long time. Inventory's relatively low still. Interest rates are moving down. Buyer activity is picking up. I said, it's not going to be a really big inconvenience. We'll have 1 or 2 open houses. Your house will probably be on the market. It's beautiful. It's priced right. You'll probably be on the market 2 to 3 weeks. And that'll be it, right? We're going to get this price, and you're going to walk with a ton of more money. So I told her, I said, it's not going to be really that big of an inconvenience for you. We'll make sure that we schedule all the showings on the weekend, so you only have to just be out during the weekend, and we won't have to worry about during the week. And again, the savings, the amount of money, when you see this, the amount of money that they're saving is huge. So for the little bit of inconvenience, again, for what I'm about to show you, it completely makes sense, right? So let's just kind of get down to this. I'm going to turn the camera a different way. Let me see if I can turn. Yeah, there we go. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. So this is the worksheet that I replicated. Hey, look, I said it the first time. Didn't have to say it 20 times. So let's just look at this top section, right? This is the iBuyer offer, right? So the iBuyer company came in and told this lady that her house was worth between $750 and $775. Okay. Now, when I did the comps, I looked at it and she was easily between $775 and $785. But the iBuyer program, they said, you know what? We never go with the high range. We always go with the lower range. So they were like, we'll buy your home for $750. Okay. And their cost, by the way, to do this is 5%. So a lot of people think, oh God, I'm not paying any realtor fees. I'm not, having to pay all. No. These iBuyer programs, they charge selling cost, right? Because when they buy the house, what do they have to do? After they buy it and they do a little lipstick on a pig, what do? They turn around and they sell it, and they're going to have to pay selling cost. So they're charging you for this. They don't want to not charge you and then have to turn around and pay them, right? So they do charge selling cost, and most of the iBuyer programs that I have found charge 5%. Okay? They came in and they gave her an estimated closing cost to sell at $22,500, up to 3%. Dude, industry standard, by the way, to sell, industry standard, we're talking title, escrow, recording, all of that junk, typically is 1%. They were charging up to 3%. So they were charging 2% over what normal industry standard is. So they're already having to pay the realtor fees. They're getting lowballed on their sell price. They're having to pay standard realtor fees, and they're paying now 2% more in closing costs. On top of that, they told this lady that they were going to estimate $25,000 in repair costs, okay, to basically repaint the inside, okay, because it did need a little updating. The paint was a little outdated, so to repaint the inside, okay. They told her that they would redo the flooring because she had some, kind of old carpeting. And then the landscaping, they were basically just going to throw some mulch down and green up the grass. But $25,000 to do this. Okay? Typically, on average, my clients spend between $0, never more than $1,000 to get their property sell ready, right? Updating a little bit of paint, maybe replacing a door that a dog chewed on or something like that. Where did my screen go? Okay, something like that. Most of my clients don't spend anything. I think we had one client spend up to $1,000, but I told her, I said, based on the condition of your home, I said, we could easily get it upgraded, staged, everything ready to go for about $1,000. Okay. So now they do have a mortgage on the property, but I didn't want to disclose their mortgage. I just wanted to look at hard numbers, selling numbers, right? So if you were to take the $750 lowball offer, right, and then you have all these selling costs and closing costs and outlandish repair costs, cash to the seller is $665,000, right? But look at all these fees that they're charging. Okay? Yeah, convenient. Convenient for who? Convenient for them. So this is what I showed her. I said, hey, look, before I even saw this number, I had priced out our home between $775 lowball, okay, all the way up to $785. I said, but let's stick with this value range. Let's go off what they said, okay? Let's just say we do sell it at $775, right? The cost to sell, what I'm going to charge, I'm not greedy, okay? I charge 4%. So I'm already saving you $6,500 here, okay? Now, actually, 4%, right? You're going to say, oh, it's 5% up here, 1% here. That should be, 770.50? Yeah, 7,750. I'm taking this number from this number, okay? That's where I'm getting that. This selling cost number from that, right? So she's saving $6,500 right off the bat selling with me, okay? Her closing cost, again, I went to my title and escrow company. Shout out to First American Title and Escrow. I use them, always use them the last 20 years, okay? Their closing costs were about 1%. So that was $14,000 right there. I mean, alone right here, we got a little over $20,000 in savings right there. And then this was the big one, was the repair cost, right? I was like, at worst case scenario, okay, if we completely went through, because I already told her, I was like, if you spend $1,000 just touching up the paint, doing a couple things outside, it was mainly the outside work, greening up the grass, throwing some mulch down, doing some things, some staging costs. But I was like, worst case, let's say we upped it to $2,000, right? We're saving $23,000 here. Not to mention, Okay, they want to sell at $750. I'm selling at $775. Okay, so this cash to the seller, look at the difference, right? Come down here. What is that? $54,500 more by using me than this iBuyer program. Now, I don't know about you. I'm going to flip the screen around here. Now, I don't know about you, but $54,000, that's a whole lot of money, okay, for a convenience factor. Now, I want to just full disclosure, okay, full disclosure on this one. I have seen multiple iBuyer scenarios from different iBuyer companies, okay? And what I have found is that not everybody charges $25,000 in repair costs, right? Some homes are super beautiful. Maybe they just need a little bit of touch-up work. But these iBuyer programs, you have to think of it, they're investors, right? They're in the business of making money. So what are they going to do? They're going to lowball you on your house. They're going to charge you the exact same fees to sell, okay? And then they're going to pad it even more, okay? If they have to pay people to come in and do a little touch-up, do a little bit of landscaping, they got to pay for those people. They got to pay for that, the supplies and the equipment, okay? They got to pay taxes and insurance while they're holding it. They got to pay an agent to sell it. And then there's closing costs there. So these iBuyer programs, they have to bake in a ton of fees, right? And they have to get that house for as cheap as possible so that they can turn around and sell and what? Make a profit. That's why they're in business. That's why we're all in business, is to make a profit, okay? So sometimes these scenarios, they're not going to be, $50,000 all the time savings, but they're definitely, you could see, just through the realtor fees and just through the closing costs alone, that was $20,000 in savings. Just those two things, right? So again, I don't know about you. I'm just telling me, $20,000, that's a lot of money to, just give away for a convenience factor, right? Don't do that. If you work with the right agent, obviously I want you to work with me, but there's a ton of agents out there, right? If you work with the right agent who is knowledgeable, who's been doing this for a while, they know the process, right? They have all the marketing dialed in. They have a really good sales record where they're, closing things within a couple weeks. Again, even in this market, interest rates are moving lower. It shouldn't take more than a couple weeks to sell your house. So if priced right, that's always the key, if priced right. But anyways, when you really look at it, okay, they're a business for profit, okay? We're all in business for profit, but who's going to put more money in your pocket, okay? You use me under this scenario, I'm putting $50,000 more in this lady's pocket, and that's at the lowest price that I quoted. I know I'm going to get more for that house, okay? So that's even going to be more money in her pocket. So I had to share this video. I'm actually going to be doing more of these videos because I really want people to understand that in most cases, these programs are not in their best interest. So anyways, that's all, kind of long. If you have questions about selling, iBuyer program, selling, anything like that, give me a call. I do loans, but we also do real estate, okay? My wife, an amazing agent, buyer's agent, listing agent. I do buyers, listings as well. So one-stop shop, all things real estate. Give us a call if you ever need anything. Take care, everybody. Bye.